Welcome back to another episode of American Bonapartist. There are really two sides to looking at Napoleon's religious beliefs, which is what I'm going to be talking about today. The first side is in itself a duality between what he publicly stated and what he personally believed. His policies were geared towards reconciling the French Revolutionary government and the institutions from the French Revolutionary government with the Catholic Church. Now, what exactly is the Catholic Church? I can tell you exactly what it is. The Catholic Church is an ancient cult that had been a grip on France for most of its history, for European history, as well for over 1,000 years before the French Revolution even began. One of the main goals of the Enlightenment was to undo the influence of religion and its influence on politics and society. The Enlightenment philosophers wanted to replace religion with reason and science. The revolutionaries were quick to suppress the church by promptly killing off most Catholic priests who didn't swear an oath of loyalty to the new government. One of the many legacies of the revolution was that from now on, all anti-religious sentiment was associated with the political left, especially amongst the upper classes. Napoleon, for his part, was raised Catholic, as myself was, but never displayed any real amount of religiosity throughout his life. Napoleon wasn't necessarily anti-religious, but he understood that religion is a force that can drive people towards competing authority ideas. And we're going to talk about this more, about how religion can divide and mix up loyalties, especially amongst within various religious groups. Perhaps Napoleon's greatest legacy was proclaiming the Concord of 1801, which reestablished the Catholic Church as the main religion in France. However, the Church would remain under his watchful eye for most of his political life. Does this brief background of Napoleon's relationship with Catholicism the end of the story? Not at all. Instead, it is Napoleon's morality and how he personally conducted himself which deserves our attention. Napoleon believed that he could use religion as a means of creating some sort of a unifying force for his nation. However, Napoleon was not some God-fearing man, and I have argued that he wanted to steer the Catholic Church in France to a position that almost idolized him as some Christ-like figure. Napoleon himself admired Christ and even saw him as the creator of the empire, an empire built upon love. Napoleon's ethics are famous, and thanks to the fact that he was so admired by Friedrich Nietzsche in articulating one of the most famous concepts of the Übermensch, a person who affirms their own values. Nietzsche claims Napoleon was one such person. To Nietzsche, the Übermensch represented someone who creates their own values, and instead of retreating to the religion in light of life's suffering, someone who owns up to the reality of this world. Napoleon demonstrated this pattern throughout his life. Napoleon was one of history's first, quote, self-made men. Napoleon was, as we discussed earlier, was born into an obscure noble family from Corsica, propelled himself through the ranks of society and the military. He managed to rule an entire country by his late 20s, and by his early 30s, that extended to most of Europe. Napoleon undid over 1,000 years of feudal lordship that was the backbone of European politics. His efforts made entire empires rethink their military and political affairs. The Overman is a concept that perfectly sums up Napoleon's outlook on life, and in my opinion ought to be a guiding ethical principle. On this channel, I am going to contribute further to the discussion of religion and my ethical beliefs, which will allow you, I hope, to become whom you truly are.